Day. If you have questions for Coach L, please use the hand raise function and wait to be called on. We'll start with Matt Shodell from Canesport. Matt?
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
Hey, Matt.
Glad you beat the traffic eventually. So I wanted to ask you about a couple of things. The trip to France, of course. Do you view it as learning about the team while also team bonding stuff that's going on there? Do you have anything planned along those lines? And then also, what sort of sense do you think you can get of some of the new faces on the team, in this 3-game span?
Well, really, Matt, the trip has multiple purposes. The first is we get everybody back, for summer school and 10 days of practice to see where we are moving forward. The 10 practices are vital for evaluation to see how our recruits are. In this day and age, there's so much transferring and new guys. We have we're basically 6 returning players and 6 newcomers. So we're trying to, figure out, okay, what direction do we need to go in? And the 10 practices here at Miami will help us with that. The trip to Paris is really about bonding. The players get to know each other. It's 10 days, so the players will room with different roommates in each city. So we're going to Paris, Normandy, and Nice, so you'll have 3 different guys that you'll room with. So you get to know the newcomers a little bit better. And then the games, we won't practice in France. We'll just play the 3 games, and then we'll get to see what each player can do under game conditions.
Go to Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. Michelle?
Hi, Jim. Nice to see you. One thing quick for my question. So I want to clarify, you're going to be practicing or just playing the 3 games, or both?
Well, we're practicing here.
Okay.
We're playing the 3 games in France, but we won't be practicing in France.
Okay. All right. And then my other question is just from what you've seen so far of guys who've been working out or whatever. I know you haven't had any, official practices or whatever. What do you think about your new squad? I know it's super early on July 26th to say anything, but what do you think about the new guys who came in? We haven't had a chance really to talk to you about how you think this team will blend with the 6 guys who are returning.
Well, you have the 3 freshmen plus a freshman walk-on, so 4 guys there. Of those 3 scholarship freshmen, each of them has shown a lot of potential. Michael Nwako is 6'10", 240 pounds. He's the tallest guy on the team by several inches, and I think he's going to make a nice contribution as a freshman. Then we have Keyshawn George, who is from Switzerland, played in France, and is about a 6'7" wing player. He can shoot the 3. He can handle the ball. He's very versatile, but he's very, very young to the American game, how fast it is and how strong the athletes are. So I think it'll take him a while. But I think, again, he'll be a contributor as a freshman. Paul Jobé is from France, and he was our last signee. We signed him in, I'll say, June. And he's about 6'6", almost 200 pounds, long arms, has a nice shooting touch. But this will be very, very new to him as well. It's a real jump up in the level of competition. He did not play in the highest level of competition in Florida. He went to West Oaks High School. So each of those guys, I think, will help us. At what point, how quickly, that I don't know. We'll see a little bit more in France, how they do. The 4th freshman is Nick Casano, who's from Naples, Florida, about 6'7", 220 pounds. And he's going to be a good practice player like Philip Gogos was. Nick is on an academic scholarship, so he's smart, he's hardworking, and very nice young man. and you add Matt Cleveland to those guys, and Matt Cleveland has made a nice transition, fits in very well. He's a heck of a player, and so I'm not sure if we have a sixth. I thought we had six. Maybe we have 7 returners and 5 more. That might be right.
Yep. We'll go to Marcus Benjamin from Keynes County.
Hi, Coach. Obviously, the last 2 seasons are the most successful in the program's history. How hard is it to continue to build off of that success? And I've got a second question when you're done with that.
Okay, so I think college basketball has changed dramatically in a sense of how you build your team. You have different categories for your recruiting process. Before the transfer portal and NIL, college coaches, especially our focus was on recruiting incoming freshmen to replace outgoing seniors. Now you have incoming freshmen to replace your seniors, but you have transfers to replace the guys that transfer out or go to the NBA. You know, Isaiah Wong, for example, could have returned, but chose to go to the NBA. Anthony Walker and Harlan Beverly could have returned and chose the transfer portal. And so in the spring, depending on who you might lose, you have to recruit transfers. And in years past, the last couple of years, we brought in 2. This year, we're only bringing in 1, Matt Cleveland. So, we're still actually recruiting right now because we still have 2 scholarships available. So we're keeping our eye on the portal in case somebody is a late entry.
And Coach, last season you talked of the team being small and playing smaller ball. You said that a lot. Can you just kind of assess the team's size and what kind of ball they'll might play this year?
Well, I think we're going to be very, very similar in size. So we're probably not going to be changing much offensively and defensively, except maybe adding a twist to our offense to accommodate our newcomers as to what they bring to the table.
Go to Adam Lichtenstein from the Sun Sentinel. Adam?
Hi, Jim. So we're going to talk to Christian Watson in a few minutes. Obviously, he didn't get on the court a ton last year. Just what are you expecting from him this coming season? How have you seen him kind of grow after his first year at UM?
Well, I think Christian learned a lot last year. We're very hopeful that he will become an outstanding defender and rebounder. He certainly has the athletic capability of doing that. He's 6'6", weighs 200 pounds. He's got a good feel for the game. On offense, probably the biggest thing is trying to figure out what shots he should shoot and what shots he should pass up, because we have a lot of very good shooters. And the thing you want offensively is for everybody to share the ball and to take good shots. It's very easy for a team that shoots the ball well for players to have so much confidence that they can take bad shots and feel like they'll still make a decent percentage. And I'll use Isaiah Wong as an example. He took some very difficult shots, but he could make them. Those weren't bad shots for him, but they're normally bad shots for other players. So this team, and especially a Christian Watson, is going to have to figure out what shots to shoot and what shots to pass up.
Go to Chris Stock from Inside the U. Chris?
Yeah, Coach, late last season, you talked about Norchad Omier maybe improving his offensive game over the offseason. Can you just maybe over the summer, how is he done with that? And then also if you could touch on Hugo Poplar's progress. I know he obviously made the jump last summer. Just those 2 guys.
Yeah, I think Norchad Omier continues to improve his game. We're working on several things. His three-point shooting is improving. His driving game is improving. His ball handling is improving. But Chris, quite frankly, the things that he does well, really, really well, scoring around the basket, offensive rebound, play with a relentless attack, that's going to continue. So I don't know if the average fan will see the improvement in his game, except maybe for an occasional three. Last year, I think he made a few. I think this year he'll make a few more. But he's not going to be shooting as many threes as a Wooga Poplar or Nigel Pack or Bensley Joseph.
And could you touch on Wooga as well?
Wooga has, just continues to add to his game. I think he's headed towards a great season. I'm hoping that, and we'll encourage him and the media to pay attention to his defense, because I think he's become a truly outstanding defender on the ball, off the ball. His offensive game is very complete. He can really shoot the three. He's now taking more pull-up jumpers off the bounce, which he's very good at. He's doing more utilizing ball screens. We may play him a little bit at the point, letting him run the offense, because we like him to be a little bit more versatile. But he's going to be a major contributor this year, similar to what Isaiah Wong did in his junior and senior year.
And just quickly, is all of your guys available to play in France, health-wise?
Yes.
Got it. And then I wanted to ask you, you said the two openings you still have. Just how do you feel about that? Obviously, you've come into other seasons with less players. Do you feel comfortable, uneasy? How do you feel? I know there's only a few months.
I think that the whole key is staying healthy. When you only have 11 scholarship players, and you have really some key guys that you just can't afford to lose. Norshad Omir being the biggest, because we don't have anybody like him in the program. So we need to stay healthy. And 11 is plenty if you're healthy, but it's not that good if you've got some injuries. Last year and the year before, we were very fortunate. We only had a few guys miss games. Norshad missed that Duke game in the ACC tournament due to the sprained ankle in the first minute. Nigel Pack missed a game midway through the year. I forget why. But we had very, very few games missed. The year before, we lost Sam Wardenberg for 2 games due to COVID. But not many games missed is really key if you can keep yourself healthy.
We'll go to Luke Cheney and then Michelle Kaufman to wrap it up. Luke?
Hey, Coach. Similar to Adam's question about Christian, I was curious about AJ Casey and I guess what you're expecting from him in year 2 and some of the improvements that he's made this summer.
Yeah, I'm working with AJ very specifically to help him with his offensive game. AJ has a lot of physical talent, his size and athletic ability. And his offense has a lot of potential, but it's not been realized quite yet. He needs to become a more efficient offensive player, a little bit more of a plan of attack of what shots he's going to shoot. And that happens actually before the game ever begins. It's not the plan you have after the game starts. It's really, I use the example, when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played in the NBA, he knew exactly the shot he was looking for, that sky hook. That's what a lot of players don't understand. You really have to have a plan of the shots you're looking for. I'm trying to help AJ Casey with that, and he's taking baby steps right now. Hopefully he'll be ready by the time the season starts.
All right, last question for Coach L. We'll go back to Michelle Kaufman.
Okay. Coach, I want to go back to the trip to France. It's going to be a real, obviously, cultural experience for your team. So I wanted to know, first of all, do you know how many guys on your team have traveled abroad, or how many is this, first time using the passport and going to Europe? And then also, what do you have planned? I mean, you're going to Normandy. Are you going to do some historical tours? What are in Paris? What are some of the things that are on the itinerary that the team will experience?
Well, we will fly to Paris and we'll be there for about 4 days. We'll play 2 games, but during the off days, we will not be practicing. we'll be going to the Eiffel Tower. We'll go to the Louvre. The Notre Dame Cathedral is closed, so we won't be able to go inside there. Our tour guide has set up several other tours. We will be traveling to Normandy. We're going to be showing the team the first 26 minutes of Saving Private Ryan, which is about the invasion of Normandy, and then we'll tour Normandy. We will not play a game there. We'll then fly to Nice, and there hopefully we'll have some relaxing time to go to the beaches and just enjoy the culture and the great food that France provides. But it is very, very much a cultural and educational trip.